Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. That's 2 o'clock. We'll go live. Welcome to the Charities and Trusts Committee being held today. If I go first to apologies.
Yeah, good afternoon, Chairman. We received apologies from Councillor Winnington and Councillor Jay.
Thank you. Do we have any declarations of interest? I'm going to say, to my knowledge, I don't have any.
Chairman, could I just raise the same point that I raised in the Crow Committee about attendance at meetings? Because we are a small committee and 2 people not being here, I know that a quorum is 2, but I don't think it's very desirable that this committee should make decisions on the basis of a quorum. And so I just have a concern at the non-attendance of members. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Councillor Smith. I've just actually mentioned it to the officer myself. Whereas you know, you were looking at Crow. Let's see how Crow goes first, and if we need to bring it back to this one, if it's successful, it's enlarging the Crow Committee, then we can perhaps look at this one. But I think I'd rather go one at a time first, if that's all right. Yes. Okay, thank you. Minutes of the meeting held on the 15th of June 2021. Okay, they are well presented. Is everyone happy with the accuracy? I mean, I've had moving. Ian, were you there? Yes, you were. Ian, will you second the minutes? Councillor Lawton, will you second the minutes? Okay, thank you. Okay, that's done. Okay, item 4. Endowment Charity Funds Annual Accounts 2020-2021.
Thank you, Chair. If I can take this one. So this is the set of accounts that we bring to you as the trustees, as the custodian trustees of the charities that the council administers. There are 12 charities where we've produced financial accounts and statements for, and charities which have an income of over 25,000 also have to have an annual report and are required to be signed off by an internal audit inspection as well. And we've brought those reports to you and also the assessment from the internal auditors. As I say, you are the custodian trustee for 12 charities and you are responsible for directing the affairs of the charities, ensuring they remain solvent and well run, and that they deliver the charitable objectives for the benefit of those for whom they are intended. And the county treasurer, who I'm representing today, is responsible for the financial affairs, for managing those financial affairs of the charities, and for producing the accounts for the 12 charities. So we ask you as custodian trustee to approve the annual accounts, which include a statement of income and expenditure for the 2021 financial year and a summary of investments at the 31st of March 2021. And they are provided for you in Appendix 2 to the report. Thank you.
Councillor Smith?
I'm happy to propose the acceptance of the report. The only comment that I would make, have we got to the stage where some of the charities that we're dealing with are so small that it would be better to dissolve the charities and dispose of the funds and not have, I mean, there is a cost incurred in managing a charity, whatever size it is, and it just seemed to me that some of the charities were getting to the point where I question the viability of them being managed by this council. Thank you, Chairman. But I second the...
Yeah, just to respond, I mean, quite a while ago now we had a lot more charities. And these particular charities possibly also have land and buildings, which is the reason that we keep some of them. So they may have a small amount of income, but there are also, say, associated land and buildings. And I think the Education Committee that was back in the 90s took the decision that all of the smaller charities should be wound up, and ones where there were prize funds associated with particular schools should be, the administration should transfer to the schools, and that exercise was carried out. So what we are left with, albeit they are small, are predominantly the ones where there are land or associated buildings.
Councillor Lawton.
I've been on this committee for about 12 years, and I do know for a fact that some of these smaller ones do rely on us for help and information and what have you. But we also do some big ones. We sold a school over the road there. I think it was a couple of years ago. Yeah, yes. And the problem was that when that happened, there were only 2 members present, and the decision wasn't made by the chairman because he wasn't there. So I made the decision to sell it. Fortunately, it was a good decision. But I do think if they are accepted as one of our smaller charities, I feel we should keep them, because I think to have the Stafford County Council behind them is worth quite a lot to them. I mean, obviously, if you think somebody's pulling our legs a little bit, yes, by all means, but I do think, David, we should think very carefully before we abandon any of them. Thank you. Thank you, Chairman.
I think that's the advice we've been given by our officers, so I think we're all happy to go down that line at present. With these accounts, do we have to authorise them by voting, or is it just acceptance? Okay. Okay, everyone happy that these are approved? Thank you. The accounts are approved. Next item is Stafford North End Community Association and the charity numbers listed there.
Thank you, Chair. Back in September 2019, we had a meeting where the managing trustees of the Community Association attended because they were looking at changing the constitution. The County Council are shown as the trustees at the Charity Commission, not the managing trustees, so they did need our consent to make changes. With the delays with COVID, they've made internal decisions and have formed another charity and have transferred the assets from the charity, which would just, I believe, just cash in accounts, into the new charity, which effectively leaves the old charity, which the County Council are trustees for, dormant. So there's a proposal that will wind up the charity and take steps to remove the County Council and enter into a deed so that the County Council are indemnified in the event that any acts that they've done were unlawful. So it's just looking for confirmation that you're happy to enter into the deed to provide the charity with protection as trustees.
Okay, comments, Ian? You're happy with that?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay, we're happy to go along that line. We approve that the recommendation of the officers, particularly number 3, to remove a Staffordshire County Council as a trustee of a charity. Okay. Thank you. Next item is Rugeley Education Endowment, and it's a verbal update.
Yeah. Chair, just to informal parties, that the 15th of June, the resolution was passed to make an application to the Charity Commission for the funding to be approved up to 2.5 million. Just to let you know that the Charity Commission have concurred with that resolution. We are currently waiting for the school to propose their heads of terms for a funding agreement, and that will be the next step in the process. But just to let you know that the Charity Commission have approved the resolution.
I remember it well. It was well presented, and the school were all here going through what they're going to do. So thank you very much. Okay, next item is exclusion of public and press, and I will read that the public be excluded from the meeting for the following items of business, which involve a likely disclosure of exempt information as defined in the paragraphs of Part 1 of a Schedule 12A, as amended, of the Local Government Act 1972, indicated below. Okay, if we could